is awesome.
Oh, Clark, hey. Good to see you among the living, man. Check it out. It's the latest talent mix.
Thanks, Pete.
Good to see you all among the living. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the latest edition of the Talon Mix. It's a Smallville recap podcast hosted by me and hosted by Zach. Hi, Zach. Merry Christmas.
Ho, ho, ho!
Is Santa here? Zach,
Yeah.
you just missed him.
Oh.
Oh, it was incredible.
Wait, are you implying that I'm Santa?
I guess so.
Just like I'm like a
You
Clark
ho,
Kent
ho, ho.
situation? How come you're never in the same? When Santa's here, you're never here. Zach?
I've never seen it. Man, you know what I wanted to do, and then I didn't think about it until just now? I wanted to take the Smallville wiki and then just replace a major character of the episode with Santa Claus, or change it up enough to imply that Clark will become Santa Claus.
Are you talking about actually changing it, or just reading it with Santa filled in?
Just reading it with
Right,
Santa.
because you could still do that. I mean, you could still just throw Santa in.
I'm truly so tired. And the mental capacity, do not have the mental capacity.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what the Nietzsche lines would be.
Yeah, right. Well, if we think of one while we're...
Yeah, Clark, you're definitely not the giving presents type.
I'm surprised no one's made a Young Hot Santa series or movie. Where's the Young Hot Santa stuff?
I was in a sketch comedy class once, and we had to write a parody sketch, and I wrote a trailer for a gritty Santa origin story movie.
Beautiful.
Like in the vein of Batman Begins.
Beautiful.
But the sad thing is, I think they've probably made that movie by now, or they're going to.
I think David Harbour is in like a Santa John Wick movie.
Yes, Violent Night.
Right. Which, I'm not against everybody having fun, but also I'm sure there's a 3-minute like college humor version that would have been fine.
It definitely looks like a short stretched out to movie length, but I haven't seen it. So maybe it's great.
Right. I do want to, speaking of being very tired, we are down to the wire on recording this. I'm hoping to travel tomorrow if the storm, which may or may not happen considering the storm that's about to wallop the East Coast. So this episode is kind of just going to be live to tape. We're going to record it and I'm going to dump it on the... onto the feed. I'm not going to have a lot of time to do much of an edit. Not that I do that much editing on the show.
I was going to say, do you normally edit? Because I feel like all the stupid shit I say is still in there every week.
I do a little stuff. I cut out breaks. I do a little juice. And today there will be no juice.
What is the temperature like over there?
It's not too bad right now in New York. I think it's currently in Brooklyn. It says 49 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, it's actually pretty warm.
Wow. Guess how cold it is here, Brian. Guess what the temperature is here.
How cold? I think you said it was somewhere in the 20s yesterday.
Yeah, it's 21 right now.
Jesus, that's pretty cold.
Yeah, it's fucking cold. It doesn't get this cold around here.
Okay, all right. The planet is dying.
Cold. Cheers.
Yeah, here we go. The big problem is that we're going to get walloped with this storm where there's going to be some flooding, and then it's going to suddenly, drop. So everything's going to freeze over.
No.
So I don't super
be where you want to be.
Yeah, I don't super want to drive to Virginia tomorrow.
What's in Virginia?
My wife's family.
Oh, okay, cool.
So,
yeah, I mean... If that's where you want to end up at Christmas, you better leave now,
So what we might have to do, we have to go pick up the car tomorrow morning, and I think we're gonna risk assess. If that's not, the thing is, it's gonna warm right back up on Saturday on Christmas Eve, so it might just be
cool.
Wait it out and just do Christmas Eve instead. Well, so we'll see.
Fingers crossed.
So I guess a couple days before Christmas. It is the 22nd here right now. Probably it's about a half hour to the 23rd here on the East Coast. So this is our Christmas episode, I guess. We normally do like a movie or something, but you and I both agreed like, oh, we actually are enjoying Smallville right now.
Yeah, I think I said this is the first time I'm not actively looking for a reason to watch something else.
Right.
Yeah.
So we decided to keep, so this episode, we're still just doing, what is the episode number here? The 5th episode of the 4th season, Run, a very fun comic book episode for...
Yes, kind of a preview of what was to come in the next 20 years of television.
Yes, definitely.
Just
so we'll get into that kind of as normal, but I guess the first half of the show is where we'll keep it Christmassy. We'll keep the spirit of Christmas in our hearts. Zach, how's your holiday season been?
I figure I'll just sing Christmas carols for the first half of the show.
Great.
Great. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. No. It's fine. It's fine. I'm a little older now. I don't have kids, so the holiday time is not as fun as I think when you're a kid or when you have kids. Right.
Right. That's the thing.
I still enjoy it. I still look forward to it. I like watching the movies, the TV shows, but it's just not quite as,
I'm with you. I had a little bit of the holiday blues this year, kind of like searching for my Christmas spirit, and kind of coming up dry. But,
But you got a kid on the way, so
you're
good next year. You're
Right.
good the year after that. You're good for a while
Gotta
they go off to college, and then you're depressed, and
Right.
who knows what happens.
Right. So yeah, right. Looking forward to that, and maybe the planet will just freeze by then, or melt, or whatever global warming is supposed to do. It's supposed to do one of those.
Both, I think. Both. It could be both.
Got it.
That's the good thing. It's like
Pick your
it's
poison.
like if it was just getting warmer, it would be like. At least it'll be warmer. No, it'll be really warm and really cold, alternating.
Awesome.
That
Great.
sounds like fun. Yeah.
This will be great. Everything was good. Everything that led us here is good. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays.
Yeah, let's turn this around.
Yeah, right. What is tonight? Tonight's like the 4th night of Hanukkah. Happy 4th night of Hanukkah. Merry Christmas. We're all gonna die.
Absolutely. Happy 4th night of Hanukkah. Merry Christmas. Wait.
Yeah.
So I finished. I think I finished all my shopping. I hope I did because I'm not going out until Christmas.
Yeah, there you go. Kind of same. Kind of kept it pretty chill this year. I have a baby on the way, and extra funds are few and far between.
Are you wrap your presents ahead of time kind of person, or like what's your plan usually with that?
I usually like to get them done. My wife is usually extremely on it. So one day they're just suddenly all wrapped.
Yeah.
But
my ritual for the last decade has been to on Christmas Eve watch Die Hard and wrap presents.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yes.
Not to open this up, I think it's the most cliche fucking quote unquote debate in history. Like, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Do you like watching it on Christmas? Yes, it is. Do you not?
Right, exactly.
Great. Whatever.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. It's like these people who are like, Hereditary is not a horror movie. I'm like, first of all, what is it then if not a horror movie? But
right.
But also, if you're horrified by it, it's a horror movie.
Definitely. It's also funny when Die Hard being a Christmas movie was like sort of just like a joke that came about of like, oh, it's set at Christmas. Haha, that's not usually what a Christmas movie is. And then it turned into like this serious statement that people started making that then people started objecting to. Why are we talking about this? Why am I contributing to this conversation now many years later? I don't know. Anyway.
Well, I mean, the gall of someone saying it's not a Christmas movie drives me nuts.
I'm with you
It
there
does.
as well. Like, clearly,
I'm-
it's if Home Alone is
Right. I just yeah, sorry. This is an old argument.
and I just see it come up every damn year, and I'm like, stop it.
I
Stop
know.
Stop
But I would
it.
never tell someone, like, if they liked a movie to watch it at Christmas and it had Christmas in the movie, I would never be like, that's not a Christmas movie. It's not Christmassy enough.
Right.
As long as there is Christmas in the text of the movie,
Definitely.
it's a Christmas movie.
Definitely. And you know what? I knew a family once, their like Christmas Day movie tradition was Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Not Christmas at all, but who am I?
Yeah. I mean, when I was a kid, they used to always show the original Star Wars trilogy on like the USA Network or something.
Yes.
On Christmas Day.
Star Wars is a Christmas movie. Straight up.
Yeah.
Love watching
Well,
Star
they
Wars
played
on
it every
Christmas.
year on Christmas. So
Yeah.
and then they released the last few around Christmas time.
I love to come out of a Star Wars movie and for it to be cold. I don't know why. That is a good vibe for me. Which is they were usually May releases, right? So I don't know where.
Yeah, all the Lucas ones were.
I don't know why I've associated them with Christmassy, but they feel. I don't know if it's just like the childhood element of them. It is just a movie of action figures. But do you have a favorite Christmas movie of all time?
Like, oh man, that's such a hard question. I mean, like the boring answer is "It's a Wonderful Life." It's pretty fucking great.
It's great. It's great every time. It's great.
It is. It's like I almost cry every time. Die Hard, honestly, is a huge one for me.
Of course.
Eyes Wide Shut, Batman Returns. I definitely tend to gravitate towards the movies where Christmas is an element, but it's not like
Sure.
The themes aren't necessarily like
Right.
Christmas themes.
Man, Batman Returns is a good one though. Great.
Batman Returns actually does have some Christmas themes. I mean, like Batman Returns is like a really good.
It's the end of that fucking movie where it's like, Merry Christmas, Alfred, and goodwill toward men. Fucking great.
Yeah.
Mwah! Chef kiss.
Oh no, but you forgot. He says goodwill toward man, and then he pauses and he goes, and women, because he has the cat with him.
Right. Oh. Man, Batman Returns is a good fucking movie.
I think I'm gonna throw that on after this.
Last year, it's been a while since I watched it full back to last. I think I threw it on last year, but like I was doing things around the house, and I only came and sat down and watched like the good parts. But man, good one, good movie.
That's my favorite Batman movie, including the Nolans. I love Batman Returns.
Yeah, I think if we're ever in a Smallville slump around Christmas time. Batman Returns is
we
the
will
one
be.
to do. Yeah.
We will be. I can tell you right now.
The ghost
What
of
about you,
Christmas
Brian?
future is here. And, my Christmas movie picks are a little like on the conventional side. A Christmas Story was on TV all the time, and like that was my family's one that we always threw on. I try to watch that like once a year. It's kind of hard to avoid.
Yeah.
I really like A Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah, that's a good one. Michael Caine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he got a lot of shit in like the 80s and 90s for doing a lot of bad movies.
Right.
And he freely admits, like, well, you see Jaws the Revenge, I see The House I Bought in Hawaii. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
It's like whatever I got paid. But having said that, he fucking brings it to every movie. He plays that Muppet Christmas Carol movie like it's an Oscar contender.
Yes, absolutely.
He's not acting like he's acting with Muppets.
Nope, he is in a very important A Christmas Carol adaptation.
Right, yeah, it's like a fucking BBC production of A Christmas Carol.
And I think that's the magic to a Muppet movie, right? Like that's really when it's working, is when you just commit.
I mean, that's like similar with like spoof movies like Airplane or Naked Gun. It's why Leslie Nielsen was so good, because he wasn't playing jokes.
Right.
He was just like, I am 100% this character in this movie. I'm playing it serious as I would be if it was a drama. But the things I'm saying are fucking absurd. Obviously.
Right. 100%. I actually really like Christmas Carol is one of my favorite books of all time. I try to read it every year. I haven't gotten to it yet. That said, I have a long car ride coming up. There's a more recent audiobook that I think is an Audible exclusive that Hugh Grant reads and is very good. I have a slight preference towards the Tim Curry one, but they're all good. They're all good. And then
I've never read it or heard it. I mean, I've seen several different versions of it, but I've never read the story.
If you want a abridged version, the New York Public Library podcast, they post it every year, have Neil Gaiman reading Charles Dickens's original performance copy. Sums it, I mean, like A Christmas Carol's a 3-hour audiobook. This is a 1-hour abridgment, and don't get me wrong, Dickens wrote by the word. There's a lot of good stuff in the cut stuff, but you're not missing much in the hour cut.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, is it how faithful was Ghosts of Girlfriends Past?
Oddly, the most accurate one, down to Matthew McConaughey. It was a crazy amount of foresight there from Mr. Dickens.
I think the Muppet one might have been the first version of that story that I saw.
It's a great one. I don't actually think there's a better movie. I mean, if you wanted to go classic to the 50s one, is the guy's name George C. Scott? Is that his name?
George C. Scott is in one. I don't think it's the 50s, but he's in one.
Got it.
I mean, Jim Carrey.
The Robert Zemeckis one I did see in theaters, and I think it's fine, but it's got that Zemeckis thing that he's into.
Yeah. I saw it in theaters too. Just stop it. Just go back to making movies with real people.
And I think he did, and it's still not anything.
They still Uncanny Valley for some reason. It's what?
He just did that Pinocchio thing for Disney that is apparently awful.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but yeah, and Tom Hanks is in it.
Right. Which they're buds. Yeah, it's funny. 2 Pinocchios came out this year. One's apparently excellent. One is apparently god-awful. And I have seen neither. I have seen neither films about the puppet boy who comes to life magically.
You know, the Pinocchio story never did anything for me.
No, same. I used to watch the movie all the time as a kid. It was one of the VHSs, a grandparent had. But I have no real, affection for it.
I feel like movie directors are obsessed with that movie. Everyone wants to make their Pinocchio.
Yeah, right?
I guess it's bringing something to life, I guess. Must be.
Maybe.
Some thematic thing there.
Wasn't there a JTT Pinocchio?
Oh, probably.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Is that what we're recapping next week?
I think so. The Adventures of Pinocchio from 1996. Ooh, boy. Oh, right, and it's a terrible puppet. It's a terrible puppet. Here we go. Rob Schneider is in that movie.
Oh, well, at least they got the A-list.
All right, so that sounds fun. We were gonna talk. Christmas movies, good. You know what's way better? Christmas episodes of television. I love a Christmas episode.
I think those are better. Yep, agreed.
Something about it. I think we were gonna talk about our favorite Christmas episodes.
Yeah.
Do you have a formal 5?
I wrote down.
I just have a couple in my head. They're not really. I don't have them ranked or anything.
Yeah. Well, I'll toss a few out then.
Great.
Community has 3 great Christmas episodes, and one that is during that season, the gas leak season, that doesn't really count.
Right. Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas would be on mine as well.
Right. The stop motion animation one. I really like the first season. I think it's Intro to Religion or something.
Oh, right.
That, where Jeff has to fight a bully played by
yes.
Is it Michael Anthony?
It's Michael Anthony Hall.
Anthony
Michael Hall.
Anthony Michael Hall, yeah. Yeah, that's a great one. And then in season 3, they do the spoof of...
The Glee one is good, too. I get that
Glee
one.
Yeah.
I get that one.
Christmas Pageant.
I get several of those songs stuck in my head.
Yeah. I mean, Community, much like The Simpsons, always did the song parodies really well.
It's the thing about Community is they would always take those. I think, especially in like Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas and the Glee parody episode, and I think it's Harmon's writing, right? But it could always like go those high concept places, but it's still in service of character. It's never,
Absolutely,
in fact, not in service of character. That's where season 4, the gas leak year, truly like stands out. If you can tell, this isn't the same.
Right. Well, I mean, that's what Harmon does so well, right? Is like you just put it perfectly. He does the high concept, but he never loses, or he rarely loses sight of character and story arc, right?
Right.
Oh, it's so good. I'm excited for the movie.
I'm
I really
so excited for the movie.
We've never been disappointed by a long-awaited movie before. So.
That said, I'm so happy. I gotta say, I was just thinking this. I'm so happy it's a movie rather than like a reboot. Just one more. Like I'm not sure that there might be an embargo on it, so I'm not going to say the name. I saw screeners of a reboot to a popular 2000 sitcom that's set a couple decades later, is what I'll say.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. On Schmerflix. But I love how I just said a Garbledygook and then Flicks. No one, you can't put that together.
Flicks.
So I saw the first...
Or Net Strabber.
So I watched the first 3 episodes. Those are the only ones that they made available. And I'm not a huge fan of the original show, of the original sitcom, but I watched it. I have some affection for it. And I can't get through my brain, why not just do a special? Like, if everyone wants to do it, and everyone thinks this would be fun, just do a little special, an hour, 90 minutes. It doesn't even have to be, quote unquote, a movie. Just a little special. And then we don't have to like play this game where we have to like create a whole bunch of new characters and pretend that we care about them, because we never do.
No. The handing it off thing never works when you have the original people around.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's even a problem with the new Star Wars movies. They introduced some interesting characters, but I still felt like I want to hear. Give me Han Solo.
Right.
You know
Definitely.
what I mean?
It's just, it always like feels like filler to those little like good moments where like the people I actually like.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. I know like everything is going towards the series and everything has to be a series. Even like Gilmore Girls came back they did like 4 feature-length episodes. I think that's better than doing a technical season. But why didn't you just do 1 feature-length feature that's good? Rather than 4 that were occasionally fine. I don't know. Just my 2 cents.
I didn't see it, so I don't know. I never watched Gilmore Girls. Is it a good show?
I love Gilmore Girls. My wife showed it to me. We watched it together. And it was funny. So it was me, my wife, and our roommate at the time, one of our roommates at the time. We would like basically just watch Gilmore Girls all day into the evening. And Emily and Willie would constantly be like, oh my God, I hate all of these characters. I hate them. I can't stand them. Half of it would be pointing out the terrible things that they do to each other and to the people that they are close to. And I'm like, I'm watching this for the first time. Like, I like all of them. Why are you speaking about them this way? Like, stop hurting my friends' feelings. And now that I don't know where exactly the glass shattered, but now I also can't unsee it. And whenever Gilmore, and I still love it, it's still one of my all-time favorite shows, but I'm like, Lorelai, shut the fuck up.
I mean, it's just like real life Friends, right?
There you go.
You're the honeymoon phase, and then you get past it, and you're like, oh god, shut up, shut the fuck up. Do you want to name some Christmas shows, or should I finish with mine? You want to go back and forth?
Yeah. So yeah, I would agree on some Community ones. I didn't write them down like a dumb idiot, so I'm going to go to the obscure one off the top of my head. The Spirit of Gethmas. The very first The Chris Gethard Show Christmas special. Highly recommend. It is an out-of-the-studio little road trip kind of documentary. It is... I have granted some personal affection for it, but this was before I started working on the show. And I watch it every year to this day.
Is it just on YouTube?
It is available on YouTube, and it is Chris Gethard and two producers of the show. They go to New Jersey to chop down a Christmas tree and find someone who needs a Christmas tree. It's very fun. And I especially enjoy it because it's intersped with some of like the best clips from that previous year. So it's a fun little crash course in Gethard show.
Awesome. That's a good one.
It's a good one.
I really like, I can't remember the name of the episode. It's the Simpsons episode where Bart gets caught stealing a video game.
Oh, great one.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's Christmas. Just a great classic Simpsons. What was the name of the video game? Bone Crush or Bone?
It's something like that, yeah.
Oh man, hold on.
Unrelated to that, that's not the episode where he gets the golf video game, right?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Bone Storm. That's
right.
the one he wanted, and then
right.
his mom asks the guy at the store and gets bad advice and gets him what is the
something putting challenge.
Yeah. Lee something
that
putting challenge.
Great episode. Great episode.
I just remember they're in the store and there's this like mom who's just letting her kid run all over her and like boss her around, and she's spoiling him. And then when Bart gets caught stealing, he gets to that mom and she's like, oh, that boy's parents must be so embarrassed. And then her son goes, shut up, Mom.
Oh man, that's great. On the animation train, do you remember the Hey Arnold Christmas episode?
No, I don't.
I don't know if you watched much Hey Arnold. You're a little older than me.
I did. I mean, the first few years at least.
Okay, yeah, I mean about the same. There is an episode of Hey Arnold where Arnold, if you're not familiar with Hey Arnold, some of our younger listeners may not be. Arnold lives in a nondescript city with his grandparents in like an apartment building. Not quite an apartment building, but
he had a football-shaped head.
And he had a football-shaped head. But they're doing a little building-wide Secret Santa, and Arnold at the Secret Santa gets Mr. Wynn. And Mr. Wynn is a sad, lonely old man. And Arnold finds out that he has a daughter somewhere that he gave up in Vietnam. And Arnold spends his Christmas Eve trying to track down Mr. Wynn's daughter for his Secret Santa. And actually, as an adult, still makes me cry.
I mean, it sounds like that's some heavy shit for Hey Arnold.
Heavy and extremely good. And everyone learns about Christmas. It's fantastic.
I mean, that's what you want.
It's fantastic.
Awesome. I'm fond of a lot of Office Christmas episodes. The Benihana Christmas one is really good. I like the Belschnickel, which was in the last season.
Oh yeah, good one.
Belschnickel's a lot of fun.
My favorite Office one is still that first one though, in season 2.
Oh, the gift exchange, the Secret Santa one.
Yeah,
where Jim writes her the letter, but then Michael makes it Yankee swap.
It's so good. It's such a good episode of television.
Oh, God, that second season. I mean, I think the second and third are both fantastic. But
Yes.
the second season is so stressful with the Jim Pam stuff
Yes.
and excruciating.
And it's so funny. The show went on for so long, and then those two characters lost all of their charm when you didn't want them to bone. But
Right, yeah.
man, that stuff in those seasons 2, 1, 2, 3 with that Pam Jim stuff, man, it works. Still works.
Man, yeah, so good. Do you have another show? Any other episodes?
I think this is my last one, and it's the most cliche one possible. I fucking love Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown. That's not what it's called.
Oh, great.
Charlie Brown Christmas
Great.
or whatever.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Okay.
That's.
Great.
I mean, I doesn't feel like Christmas if I haven't watched that. I love it.
What about the Star Wars holiday special? Does that count as a TV?
Oof.
That's not Christmas though. That's what is it?
That's Life Day.
Life Day.
That's Life Day.
Life Day,
I
yeah.
haven't
Different
watched
thing.
that this year. Normally, I stream that, and I haven't thought about it this year. It's not too late.
I think you'll be all right. Chuck has a really good Christmas. Go ahead.
Should we? Okay. So here's the thing. Should we do a yearly commentary track of the Star Wars holiday special that people can sync up on
the last year with? I feel like you kind of
we stream it, but I don't really. I don't have time to stream stuff anymore. I have a baby coming.
Right. Yeah.
So we do a full commentary. I'm into commentary tracks. I keep saying I'm going to do one, and then I never do it.
I usually skip the commentary tracks on podcasts. It's my thing.
Oh, I do it. I like it.
Yeah. I guess it depends on what we're commentating on.
Sure. Star Wars holiday special.
You know who I want? I want a George Lucas commentary track on the Star Wars holiday special.
Oh,
that's
deeply.
what I want.
I cannot imagine more hatred coming from.
Okay, just a few more. Chuck has a really good one in the second season. It's kind of a die-hard riff. The guy who plays Al Powell from Family Matters, who plays Al Powell in Die Hard, plays Al Powell in that episode.
Amazing.
Chuck.
Amazing.
Great. Lost has a good Christmas episode, actually.
Right.
It's called The Constant, and it's actually usually listed as one of the top 5 best, if not the best, episodes of the show, period.
Right.
It's the one where Desmond, he keeps going back and forth through time between the present time on the island and the past, and it's all about him connecting with his lost love on Christmas.
Great episode. I haven't seen that one in a long time.
Great episode. And then lastly, Brian, I can't believe you didn't mention this. Spoiler alert, Lexmas.
I'm waiting to see it again. I think that can enter my canon once I see it. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah, same. I'm sure it'll still be there. It's a very good Christmassy, fun episode. I mean, the side story is Clark helping the Santa deliver Christmas presents. So
I forgot about that.
Well, Clark thinks he's just a drunk mall Santa, but then at the end you find out, wait, was that guy the real fucking Santa?
That's the best trope of all time. I have 2 more that
I think Full House did that.
Yes,
Full House did that same thing once.
I had 2 more that I forgot about. You mentioned Chuck, which reminded me of the OC. The Christmaka episodes of the OC are great. They are all are fantastic. But the first one is the best. Seth on the OC invents a new holiday of Christmaka and celebrates Christmas and Hanukkah at the same time, and it's great every time.
Well, that reminds me of Festivus. Sorry, Festivus from Seinfeld.
Great one. Yeah. And then I had one more, and it'll come back into my brain, and I'll be mad that I forgot. But
what about the Holiday Armadillo? That's a pretty good one.
A pretty good one. It is a good one. I did watch that one the other day, and that one lives in a very special place in my heart because I remember watching that one live when it first aired. Ross opening the door and I'm the Holiday Armadillo. and my father laughing harder than I've ever heard anyone laugh in
Great.
It's just one of those like just very pleasant,
Love
like
it.
full doubled over laughing.
Love it.
And that's
Well,
great.
Friends is one of my favorite shows, but they never really did a lot of like good Christmas episodes. Thanksgiving was their thing.
Thanksgiving was usually like the peak. Like that was usually the best episode of any given season.
Yeah. And that's what I appreciate that.
Yeah. It's just broadly, Bob's Burgers has a bunch of good Christmas ones. They do a Christmas every year. They actually sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Bob's Burgers hits all the holidays. They always have a Halloween episode. They always have a Thanksgiving. They always have a Christmas, and they're all usually pretty good.
That's what I want in my TV shows. I want to eat all three of those.
Right?
Did Buffy ever have any Christmas episodes?
Oh, I'm sure. I can't think of any, so they couldn't have been that memorable. It's been a while since I've done a full Buffy rewatch. But I'm sure. At least one.
The X-Files had a good one.
Oh, I don't know about that
episode. I think it's called The Ghost That Stole Christmas. Mulder calls Scully out on Christmas Eve to go investigate a haunted house where the previous tenants killed themselves, or like double homicide or something. And it's haunted by ghosts that try to get people to kill themselves when they show up in the house. But it's actually very Christmassy, and Lily Tomlin is in it.
Oh,
and
great.
Ed Asner is in it as the ghost inhabitants of the house. It's fun.
The other one I wanted to remember was Doctor Who did a Christmas Carol. It's
Cool.
I don't remember the exact. It's the first Matt Smith one, but it's Doctor Who essentially helps a crotchety old man on another planet, played by Michael Gambon, who was like the second Dumbledore.
Yes.
And it's a very good hour, a very good, very sweet hour of television. And I highly recommend it.
Well, there we go.
Should we get into Smallville?
If we must.
I suppose. Do you have any other thoughts about Christmas? I don't really.
No, I think we covered the important stuff. TV, movies. I mean, that's...
What else is there?
No.
I'm sure families are fine. All right. So we watched Run. It's the 5th episode in the 4th season of Smallville, the 71st episode overall. It aired on October 20th, 2004. There is a promo, and it's right here.
On the WB Wednesday,
I saw someone who can move like I can.
a stranger with a secret
How did you do that?
pushes Clark to the limit.
I'll be 1,000 miles away before you can even blink.
I can blink pretty fast.
The Flash, Fresh Smallville on the WB Wednesday.
Okay, Bart Allen, a street urchin, is attempting to sell stolen personal items in suicide slums, but his fence, Hannison, is unwilling to give him a fair deal. When Hannison is momentarily distracted, Bart steals the goods and the money and puts himself on Hannison's radar. If you may have caught this is The Flash episode. The Flash
Yes,
appears.
This is the first major other DC character, non-Superman character to show up, right?
Yes. This is the first, and I remember this just being, oh, when I saw it for the first time.
Yes.
Like, I was so into it.
Well, like we've said before, they didn't do this.
Right.
You didn't have superheroes meeting in non-comic pop culture, except for maybe a cartoon or something.
Right. Just nothing like this.
No live action superheroes did not cross over.
No. So yeah, this was very exciting. It's very interesting that they chose Bart Allen. Not one of the more famous Flashes. I don't know if he was the Flash at the time. The Flash is one of those characters. It's not like Superman's always been Clark Kent. Bruce Wayne is usually Batman. Several DC characters have been the Flash through the years.
Right.
Bart.
Do you think they chose Bart Allen, or do you think that was like a requirement? You can use Bart
That's
Allen.
a great question. That's a
We want to
great
do a
point.
movie about Barry Allen, so you can do Bart Allen. You know what I mean?
That's a great point. I don't know. But he's not one of the more famous ones. So that's funny. I do wonder that.
Just to point this out, one of the first lines of the episode is the Flash shows up, and then the thug guy is like, "You're late," and then he's like, "You should check your watch. I'm never late." And he says like, "I'll be there like a flash" or something. It's like he says it's like a Nietzsche, extreme Nietzsche line. We get the Nietzsche line to end all Nietzsche lines at the end of this episode.
Yes. That said, I was how's the line go? Yeah. Is it something? I'll be there in a flash.
Yeah.
Emily was walking from the kitchen back towards the bedroom as I threw this on. That line, she dramatically turns and goes, "Like Superman's friend, the Flash?" Yes.
We gotta get her on this episode. Come on, go get her.
Well, yeah, one a season. That's the only bit she saw.
No, yeah. I was thinking about that. The witch episode has to be the one.
I know. I guess I won't put her through the other Alicia episodes.
I guess it'll depend on the timing of when it's done too, because she will have just had a baby too. So I guess she gets some say in when it happens.
That said, she might desperately want to talk to an adult. So
wait, do I qualify as an adult?
Well, close enough. So in Metropolis, Clark and Jonathan are walking out of Jonathan's latest cardiologist appointment. They are on their way to a Metropolis Sharks game. Tickets courtesy of Lex Luthor, who is still trying to repair his and Clark's friendship by giving Clark things.
This scene is like a great little they must have had a week off or something. It's like a great little recap.
Definitely
scene.
A little catch up here of like, don't forget about what happened to Lex Luthor last season.
Right. Yeah, well there's a couple lines. Clark says, "Dad, this is my senior year." And Johnny K says, "Lex did have you investigated for a year." You know, like we're just in case you're just tuning in.
Right. So Clark brushes off. Jonathan reminds Clark to be careful of Lex, but Clark brushes off his concerns, saying he wants to put his issues with Lex and Jor-El behind him, play football, and enjoy his senior year of high school. Jonathan waits to be picked up by Clark at the curb. Suddenly, a truck comes careening down the street. The driver drinking. It just says the driver drinking here on the wiki. Smallville.fandom.com.
He's got a paper bag. I think he's got something in a paper bag. He's
and falling asleep at the wheel. He wakes up, swerves, pipes flying from the back, but is headed straight towards Jonathan. There is a flash of red lightning. Bart smiles, and the truck seems to freeze as Clark goes into super speed. Before Clark can get to him, Jonathan is pushed out of the way by a kid in red and yellow, who, to Clark's surprise, can move faster than he can. Clark tells Jonathan what he saw, and Jonathan notices that he is fine, but his wallet is missing. He realizes Bart must have taken it. It's fucking stupid. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not fucking stupid, but I do kind of at the same time like the idea that, oh man, the Flash is kind of down the wrong path and Superman sets him straight on the right. Like, hey,
it's perfect.
Be a superhero.
Perfect. Yes, it's so Smallville too.
Right. I think Smallville has this interesting, its own interesting version of DC Comics events where Superman is usually depicted as like the patriarch of,
yes,
he was the first. Everyone is following his lead. But this is a fun way, we get everybody showing up basically fully formed around season 6. Just fully being superheroes, and Clark's just still here in his jacket.
Yeah, he's the holdout.
Right.
He's like, we gotta do 5 more seasons of this fucking thing. I can't be Superman yet.
But I think that's a fun way to like take it. Of like, no, he's still setting course here.
I do like Clark as Boy Scout. It's my favorite Clark. But
yes,
there are times in this episode where we veered a little too hard into like wet blanket Clark, like
yes,
like sanctimonious. Like he's a tough hang in this episode. You know what I mean?
It's yes, it's like I'm not saying some of the things Barry does or Bart do are correct, but like, come on.
Yeah, you could have a little more fun. I mean, yeah, we'll get into it, but I do like. I think the effects in the episode vary wildly in quality, but that first Johnny Kent save is actually really good.
I agree.
It actually holds up.
Right. I fully agree. I think there's a mix of some like practical stuff there. Like I think they the pipes are like sliding off the truck, and I think those are just practically stacked in a fun way, you know? In a way that I think works.
Sense. I liked it. I thought it was good. Okay, yeah. Sorry, my next note isn't till the next paragraph.
So we cut to a uncomfortably long makeout scene between Jason Teague and the back of Lana's head.
I wrote, we get 45 seconds of sensual kissing.
It's long.
It really is. It had to have been, Brian, it had to have been the WB being like, there's no teen skin in this episode. There's no making out.
Kissing.
Yeah, there's no action. This is about Bart mentoring a slightly younger, troubled youth.
Right.
You got to put a kissing scene in with
kissing.
Lana.
Make them kiss. So Jason discovers Lana's tattoo, which he hasn't noticed somehow, despite Lana continuously wearing flowy clothes with like no back.
Yeah. Wait, he just now noticed it?
He sees it in the mirror as they're smooching for 40 seconds, and he's like raising her like back of her already like kind of flowy, like barely covering her back shirt.
She's worn like almost exclusively bare midriffs this season so far.
And it's like, oh, what's this?
Also, I like how he's like, what's that? And she's like, oh, like trying to hide it. Why are you wearing that outfit?
Seriously, she's not exactly in a fucking parka.
She's wearing an outfit that accentuates that tattoo.
And then it's and then, you know, Jason is like asking about it, like, when did you get this very large tattoo on your back? He's like, stop asking me questions about it.
Yeah, she panics a little bit.
Yeah,
she loses her cool. She does not play it cool. She pulls a Clark.
She pulls a Clark.
She like tries to turn it on him. Like, oh, you think I can't get a tattoo without your permission?
It's, you know, my wife has several tattoos, and if she suddenly just had a new one, I might be like, hey, when did you get that tattoo?
And would she be like, what? You trying to tell me I can't get it? So did you notice that in Lana's apartment, she has a poster that says Paris?
Good for her.
Because anyone who's gone to Paris, as you know, gets a poster that says Paris.
Wouldn't you wouldn't? I don't. What
Absolutely.
else do you get?
I mean, you have to.
In Paris.
You have to. Otherwise, how would people know that you've been to Paris?
Exactly. Especially if I'm flipping through the channels. So because their game tickets were also stolen, Clark and Jonathan returned to Smallville early. Clark asks his parents not to report their credit cards stolen for a few hours so he can track the boy down. Which we also open up a subplot here where Jonathan Kent to Martha Kay is like, hey, let's get sexy, huh? And she's like, I gotta go to work. You were gonna be at a game all day. Sorry?
But she's also like overwhelmed with Lana's former job.
That she was doing while doing every single school activity. Like, is Mama Kay a little, what's going on here?
Maybe she just wants to get out of the house. She
Oh.
just needs to.
Oh, you mean something that'll literally be revealed in the Okay, so with Chloe's completely off-screen help, Clark finds him at a hotel in Metropolis. How does this? It's just a throwaway line of like, "Oh, Chloe will help me track the purchases on the stolen credit card." What?
She has a source at the credit card company.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. When Clark shows up to the hotel room, you know that Bart is a troubled youth because he's listening to rap music.
Ooh.
I don't think anyone listens to rap in Smallville. We don't get a lot of rap in Smallville unless it's a troublemaker.
No. Though according to one of the novels, it's not rap, but Clark listens to Bob Marley.
He's into reggae, yeah.
According to what was that novel called again?
Give me 1 second. This is important. It's on my bookshelf somewhere. It was called Smallville. This is great podcasting.
This is great podcasting.
Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Where the hell is this book?
I hope you find it. I sure hope this bit has an ending. It's taken a long time, so it's got to be funny, man.
Smallville, see no evil. Because of the invisibility, Brian.
Right, of course. Great book.
Yes, great.
Okay, Clark finds him at a hotel in Metropolis and discovers he has multiple identity cards under the names Barry Allen, Wally West, and Jay Garrick. Does that count as like a Nietzsche thing, or is that just an Easter egg? Is an Easter egg and a Nietzsche line different?
No, I think that's an Easter egg. Yeah, I think that's a different thing.
All right. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so he also has, Wiki, he also has much more stolen goods. I guess that, is that correct?
Much more? No.
It should be many more, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. He confronts the boy, Bart, who is unconcerned about being caught because he'll be gone before Clark can catch. I think someone different wrote this one. I think the writing style has changed a little bit.
It's the guy who played The Flash wrote it. He just like, I gotta write my own.
Maybe. This kid was in recently in Smile. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't, but he was also in the most recent Scream movie.
Oh, right. Good for him. Okay.
Yeah, he's getting work.
Yeah. He confronts the boy, Bart, who is unconcerned about being caught because he'll be gone before Clark can catch him. He zips out of the room at super speed, and Clark chases him. However, he is faster than Clark and leaves him behind, even skimming over a lake. I used to hang out at this park a lot in Vancouver.
What park is it?
I do not remember the name, but and I think it's two different locations. There was the park,
yeah,
and then and really it was that waterfront that was pretty close to my apartment in Vancouver.
Yeah,
but if I'm remembering correctly, that's two different areas.
I love this pissing contest between them. This is before Clark becomes too much of a wet blanket when he's like, you could see Tom Welling's having fun because Bart's like, I'll be gone before you can blink. And then Clark goes, I don't know. I can blink pretty fast.
It's great.
Yeah.
Okay, Clark returns home, but is surprised to find Bart sitting at his kitchen counter, sipping orange juice. It's good.
Oh, I love that.
I
think it's great. It's fun. Let's have fun. Smallville.
Let's have fun. Bart tells Clark that he's been able to run at super speed for several years after an accident involving lightning. He went to the Kents because he'd never met anybody who could run as fast as he could. Clark asks Bart where his parents are. Bart explains that he ran away because they began to treat him differently. He suggests that Clark come with him and use their abilities to have fun and do what they want. The reason he only steals from the rich and needs money to avoid sleeping on the street. The reason that he reasons that he only steals from the rich and that he needs to avoid.
His exact words to Clark are, "You should be out there with me tearing it up."
He only steals so that he doesn't have to sleep on the street, which of course is dangerous and bad things happen. And I liked the line of, "When I'm asleep, I'm as slow as everybody else."
Also, when they're in the barn or the loft or whatever the fuck we call it, Barry very quickly, because he's the Flash. Sorry, Bart very quickly, because he's the Flash, goes through all Clark's things. And he finds a notebook that Clark has with Lana's name written all over it.
In like bubble letters, Clark.
I'm like, you're a fucking senior in high school, Clark. I hope that's an old notebook.
Yes, definitely.
It's like a middle school thing.
Okay, Clark tells him that stealing isn't right, no matter who it's from or for what purpose. Bart changes the subject by speeding around Clark's loft and observing that he's in love with Lana Lang and that he collects rocks. Clark is confused until Bart opens a lead box containing a meteor rock. Affected, Clark tells Bart that he is allergic, and Bart puts it away and convinces Clark to go to Florida with him just for fun.
Can you imagine Clark walking around on the beach in flannel and jeans? Like
I
in
absolutely
Miami?
can. Clark and Bart return from Florida that night, and they go to the Talon, where Clark introduces Bart to Chloe. Bart flirts with Chloe and impresses her with a magic trick using his super speed.
How old is Bart supposed to be?
He's a very short boy, I'll say that. So I don't know. I assume high school, don't get me wrong. But he's a short king for sure. Martha remarks that Lex was looking for Clark, so Clark leaves Bart to see what Lex wanted. At the Luthor mansion, Lex shows Clark his newest find, the last page of a 14th century manuscript with Kryptonian symbols drawn along the border. He says he wants Clark to help him uncover the mystery behind the manuscript. Clark uses his X-ray vision and sees some sort of map behind the image on the manuscript. Lex receives a phone call and leaves. Suddenly, Bart shows up, marveling at the mansion, getting a look at the manuscript, but he disappears before Lex can see him. We're getting some Lex and Clark friends stuff.
Yeah, and Lex he's trying a new tactic, which is like, I'm just going to be real honest with Clark and kind of guilt him into sharing with me, right? Basically, he's
right.
If I'm like, hey, I decided I'm going to be honest with you.
I trust you,
and
buddy.
It lasts one episode before he's like, fuck that guy.
Which, to be fair, it wouldn't have worked. So
no, it would not have worked. Lex does the thing again where he summons Clark and then he shows him the map and he's like, I have an appointment though, so bye.
You should go now. Clark. Sorry.
When the Flash shows up, it's implied that he just like did a quick tour of the house because he has super speed,
right?
Because he's like, this place is awesome. I wanted him to be like, oh, did you know he has a really big picture of you in his garage?
Yeah, hey man, you mean to tell me he's super sped around the house and he didn't see that big fucking picture?
Where's the picture now?
When it comes time, we are 100% calling into Talkville and get it. I think that's the one, like, no, seriously, I want an answer.
Yes, the picture. Just tell us all about this picture, please.
Because we can't we're really in the weeds on it. Clark arrives home and tells Jonathan about the map, and the symbols had one sentence repeated over and over. Look deeper. Clark says he wants to get a closer look at it because he thinks the map leads to something powerful and doesn't want it to fall into the wrong hands. In the barn, Bart shows up and thanks Clark for hanging out with him by giving him an MP3 player. When Clark asks if he stole it, they argue. Bart reasons that he isn't hurting anybody, and Clark lectures that he should use his abilities to help. Bart doesn't want to listen and speeds away. Sorry, did you want to say something?
No, go ahead.
he gives Clark this MP3 player. First off, they have to explain what an MP3 player is. That's the year we're in. They have to explain. So you can bring your music anywhere. It's not a branded thing. It's just the concept of the MP3 player. And then they specify, like, he stole this from somebody, which he justifies, it's insured, which you don't know that. And also...
who's insuring their MP3 players?
And then... You stole it from, like, a guy? You couldn't steal it from, like, a store? You got him a used
Target.
MP3 player?
Yeah.
Sketchy.
Also, when Clark tells his dad about the secret map, unsurprisingly, Johnny K says, I want you to leave this alone, Clark.
I wonder where Clark got his wet blankets from. When Clark goes back to the mansion to get another look at the manuscript, Bart steals it right from underneath him, setting off the alarm and leaving Clark alone in the library. Lex asks Clark if he saw who took it. It's all the lights go up, all the security alarms, and there's Clark standing there like, no.
Yeah. You also have super speed, Clark.
The alarms go, and Clark is just standing there, and I audibly said on my couch, buddy, you gotta go.
Yeah, he stands there for like 5 seconds until Lex comes in.
Could have been out of there. Easy. Easy. I also love here of, Clark thinks on his feet and was like, oh, I was just coming to talk to you. And Lex is like, little late for a social visit. Now there are rules?
It's like, do you have a giant picture of me? I can come over whenever the fuck I want.
Also,
okay.
Lex just shows up at the loft sometimes. Just like, I'm fucking Lex, and I'm here. The fuck?
I drove out here to your farm to have a 3-minute conversation and then leave. I do think Rosenbaum is really good in this episode.
Yes.
And I noted, I think he's thrown his hat in for MVP this year. This is probably going to be the closest year we've ever had on the show.
I think because I think also the writing is going back to servicing Lex.
Yes.
I think we're getting Lex back into the fun position that we kind of lost in season 3.
Yes.
We want this. The Clark-Lex relationship is at its best when, like, you're kind of sad it's not going to work out.
Yes, when you're rooting for them. And then Tom Welling's having more fun because they're writing more fun stuff for him.
Right.
Erica Durance is here. And then, obviously, Lionel's going to be back in style, but it's not as Lionel-centric of a year. So that opens the field up a little bit for these other people.
You know, I think Michael Rosenbaum obviously is Michael Rosenbaum gets nominated every year. A nomination is inevitable.
I think he's gotten second every single year since we started doing this.
I'm excited to see where Erica Durance lands this year.
Yeah.
You know, I think she's very...
one track against her might be that she's not in enough episodes.
But a great point. But
when she's in it, she sings, man.
She's gonna. I don't know if she'll take it. She's gonna come up in a conversation. We're gonna talk about her seriously.
Oh yeah, she's in the running. She's in the running.
Okay.
Wait, watch Jensen Ackles sneak in there.
Who knows? It's still
good.
way early.
If we ranked the entire cast, he would not be last.
No, I agree.
He would not be.
Do we have to figure out who's last?
I mean, I'd rather not say out loud in case they're listening because I know they are. Hi guys.
Of course. Hello. You know who you are. Okay, Bart steals it right out from underneath him, setting off alarms. Clark's alone in the library. Lex asks Clark if he saw who took it. Clark lies and says that he doesn't. Lex believes him, which is great. It's, I believe you.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
No. Okay, Clark lies and says that he doesn't. Lex believes him. Lex isn't worried. He knows all the fences in the area and figures he'll find it when the thief tries to sell it.
And then we cut to an establishing shot of a slum that is definitely not Vancouver. And I'm not saying that sarcastically. It looks like Chicago or something, some establishing shot.
That is not quite what I have here in the wiki. That's a paragraph ahead of this one. Lana and Martha have a conversation about Martha's avoidance of Jonathan. Martha admits that she has thrown herself into managing the Talon because it keeps her mind off of Jonathan's health. Lana points out that it does no good to distance herself from Jonathan while he's actually there. You know what? She's not wrong. Not
quite a Bechdel test scene because they're talking about Johnny
right.
K.
That said, now that I've seen Superman 3, which we'll talk about at some point on this podcast, every time I see Lana and Lana together, I'm like,
they played the same person.
Surely they joked about that every time they were in a scene together, right? Maybe not every time.
I don't know about
first year, certainly. Bart tries to sell the manuscript to Hannison, but Lex arrives. When Lex realizes that the thief is just a little kid, he tells Hannison to let Bart go, but Hannison disagrees. He knocks Bart out, and goons take out Lex. Before they can kill them both, Clark arrives on the scene and saves Bart and Lex. And we have the most Nietzsche. I think this is the most Nietzsche. Maybe period?
Oh, I don't know. We might be talking about a different Nietzsche line than me.
This is the Hannison has the gun to Bart's head, and then goes, let's see if you're faster than a speeding bullet.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that's not what I was talking about.
I don't remember what you're talking about.
That's great.
I'm sure I will once it comes up.
So this scene. Oh, do you have more to read for it? Okay. First of all, this is the same guy he was selling like stolen MP3 players or whatever to, and he brings him this ancient map. The guy unrolls it, looks at it for like a second and a half,
right?
And he's like, good work. I know what this is. Like.
This is definitely not some Dungeons and Dragons bullshit.
Yeah. This map. I know this one. The Flash gets a concussion. Not very Flash-like.
Right?
He gets knocked out.
Right?
And then, for the first time since season 2, we get a Lex concussion.
He goes down.
Do you think his doctor was like, you were doing so well?
Yeah, just... Lex, I thought we were done with these. Like, no, we're back to season 1 logic.
Yes.
The show got rebooted, kind of. We're in a soft reboot.
Okay, so we got the Flash, got a concussion, and then Lex got a concussion. Great.
Okay. Clark arrives on the scene and saves Bart and Lex. However, Bart overpowers Clark with a meteor rock and steals the manuscript.
We're the wiki is brushing over how he saved him, which is he rushes in front, takes the bullet, obviously. Then he throws the guy.
Right.
I'm not exaggerating. 50 feet. He throws him through the roof.
Right.
The guy goes through the roof, arcs onto like a trailer, like a RV trailer outside, like on the roof, just smashing the trailer.
Beautiful.
He's dead, Brian. He did not survive that.
That's the equivalent of jumping off of a building. Just
like we've established Clark can knock people out by flicking them, and he decides he's gonna throw this guy a mile away. Does that count as a car crash?
I was wondering that as you said that. I could go either way on it.
Here's the thing. If it was an RV, I would say yes, because that's part of the vehicle. But it was attached to a a flatbed truck. It was a trailer attached to the truck.
You know what? We'll make it. I can add if you're listening to this on Spotify, pull out your phone right now. There is a question on included with the episode, and it'll ask you right now, hey, does that count as a car crash? We'll abide by the results of that poll. Sound good?
So, this is our second option after Emily doesn't want to be bothered. Like,
Yeah, my wife is very asleep.
Yeah, she cannot be bothered with this, so we will turn to you, dear listeners.
There we go. If you are not on Spotify, you can join us on our Discord, which you can find a link to at talonmix.show. Join us, and you can let us know there. Okay. Clark pleads with Bart to do the right thing, but Bart speeds away. Before he does, though, Bart closes the lead box with the meteor rock so Clark can recover. Clark leaves quickly before the police show up and before Lex wakes up. Eventually, Lana takes Jason to the Kawachi Caves, where he notices the symbols on the walls are identical to her tattoo. Notices, or has it literally pointed out to him? She explains that this is the reason she abruptly left Paris, and Jason promises to support her as she figures it out. Okay, the next day, Clark goes to visit a recovering Lex, who states that the manuscript was waiting on his desk when he got home, and that the thief must have had a change of heart. On the farm, Clark is visited one last time by Bart. We also get a resolution to the Martha Johnny storyline, Johnny K storyline, though the wiki doesn't seem to care about it.
Yeah, neither did I really.
I guess not.
Wait, the Lex Clark thing, though. Let me see what you think, because I took the way Rosenbaum was playing it was like he thinks Clark saved him.
I could see that. Yeah.
But he's acting like, oh, I guess the guy had a change of heart.
Right. I'd agree with that. I can't say I wasn't reading into it too hard when I watched it. I don't disagree with that take.
But then at the end of the scene, Lex goes back to lying because he's like, fuck this guy.
Right.
He's like, yeah, I had an expert look at the manuscript and he said I overpaid for it. And then Clark leaves and then Lex pulls up on his computer. He has scanned it and seen the hidden map underneath also.
Right. Ooh, double-crossed.
Well, you had that coming, Clark.
Okay. On the farm, Clark is visited one last time by Bart, who thanks Clark for looking out for him. He says he's going to explore the world and invites Clark to come. Clark asks him to stay, but Bart slyly says he'd consider it, if Clark can catch him. The two super speed down the roads of Smallville, and Clark is catching up when Bart turns around and starts outdistancing him by running backwards. He salutes before turning forward again and disappearing in a flash of red and yellow lightning. Clark comes to a stop and stares at him, realizing this impulsive kid is too fast to catch. He smiles and turns to run home. The scene was dopey, but I liked it. It is what I want in Smallville.
It was very fun ending. The only thing is the needle drop let us down.
It's a weird needle drop.
It was ripe for a really good one.
Yeah,
so right before that, when sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nope.
When Bart is saying goodbye to Clark, comes the Nietzsche line to end all Nietzsche lines. He says, yeah, maybe someday we'll start like a club or a league or something.
Fuck you.
No one uses league in that way. Unless they're talking about a sports league. Yeah.
I missed that somehow. I missed that line.
Oh, it's like the laziest Nietzsche line. Maybe we'll start like a club or a league or something.
Because they're gonna. I get it. I see. Let's see. We got some.
Maybe there will be a guy who could talk to fish in the league.
I hope so, and can take cold showers and stuff. We got some needle drops this episode. I thank God needle drops are back, just in general. They were
yes.
missing. Don't Say Nothing by The Roots. Welcome to My World by Kyle Newacek. Cruel Sun by Silver. And that final needle drop is Feels Like Today by Rascal Flatts. So that was a kind. I don't think that big hit had come out yet from Rascal Flatts.
I don't think so either.
So this would have been an early get for Smallville.
They were ahead of the curve in so many ways.
Yeah. No Lionel Luthor in this episode, which, has the curse been broken? I would say this is overall a pretty good one.
I think the last two have been decent without him.
Right?
But I would say they would probably both be better with him.
Agreed. But they haven't been bad.
But we're getting, if I remember correctly, we're getting a real good Lionel next week.
I believe so as well.
A Clark Lionel body swap episode.
So excited.
Wherein Tom Welling plays John Glover and John Glover plays Tom Welling. It is fucking Face Off on Smallville, Brian, and it is amazing.
Do we have to do a full body swap gimmick?
But it's where you're me and I'm you.
Yes, you got it.
Oh my god. Yes, we do. And I have to say all the things you say.
Great.
Yep.
Great.
Yep. We have to do that.
Great.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Let's see. Among the names Clark reads, no, we know that one. At the Talon, Chloe asks Bart where he's from, and he jokingly replies, the future. In the comics, Bart Allen, also known as Impulse and Kid Flash, really was from the future. In the season 11 comic, Argo, it is revealed that Bart is really from the 31st century.
That's not canon.
Which, I mean, Clark is hiding the whole other planet part of it. Why couldn't he be hiding he's from the future?
You're right.
I am
That
right.
makes as much sense as anything else.
We gotta read season 11 one more time.
Oh, the comic season 11? Yeah.
Not that they can't be easy to get still. I'm sure we can find them online.
Unless through some miracle the WB changes hands again and they make the Smallville cartoon show.
Right. Let's see here. Still looking for something. Bart mentions to Clark that the two of them and other people like themselves should form a club or a league or something. This, Zach, I don't know if you know this, is a reference to the Justice League of America.
What? I thought it was the Justice Club.
Starting with this episode, Chloe's appearance begins to gradually evolve, indicated mostly by the hair change, leaving behind her spunkier and rebellious style to a soft fashion one that is more associated to the character nowadays.
Oh my gosh. When was that written? So, question, Brian. I'm not as steeped in the comic lore as you. I know there's a Justice League. Is there a Justice Club, which is just like a men's club, like where they don't go fight crime? It's just for superheroes to go, like, go in the spa.
There should be
golf. Smoke a cigar, play some cards.
There should be. They should get
Obviously,
on that.
female superheroes would be welcome too, but I think that's a good comic series, Justice Club, and it's just like a. It's like a slightly comedic take on.
Yeah. If anyone out there if DC Comics is listening,
yeah, Brian and I will write it.
Right. I would love to write a hangout sitcom starring DC Comics superheroes.
Yeah, the Justice Club. You have to find someone else to draw it because I don't think either Brian and I could.
I mean, we will. Don't get me wrong. If we have to,
you're gonna want to get someone.
I just hope you like stick figures. And like figure 8 boobs. Oh god damn it. I can't believe we forgot this bit. When Bart visits Clark to hang out, he mentions the Keanu Reeves movie Speed.
I did make a note of that, and I said, I understand he's making that reference because he's the Flash, but also he has great movie taste. Because
Great movie, and you should just go see that in theater, whether or not you are the Flash. I watched that again over the summer. Oh, great movie. Great movie.
That's one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time, and I'm not exaggerating.
It's literally just problem, fixing that problem. No problem! Like, no time to celebrate or relax after fixing the problem.
Yeah.
No problem!
Right. It's fix the problem, and that creates a new problem, or there's just a new problem randomly presenting itself. And it's just kinetic. It's sheer kinetic energy, that movie. I fucking love it.
Wildly good. Okay, let's see here. Clark and Lana do not share a scene in this episode. Okay, this is interesting. When Lex is opening the crate with the manuscript, the writing upon it is Cyrillic letters spelling fragile. F-R-A-G-Y-L. As of March 2015, Google search for these letters largely shows up Russian pages making fun of this scene. That's interesting.
Interesting.
It sounds like someone in the art department mistranslated it into a typo, which is pretty funny. And the Russians,
gotcha. I see.
And the Russians caught it. Okay. And we talked about this. Bart Allen is the first future hero introduced on Smallville and the 17th DC Comics character adapted into the series. He is also the first DC Comics character introduced in Smallville who's not directly tied to Superman's mythology.
Great.
All right, man.
The next one will be Aquaman, I think.
Yes, that's that. Oh, fuck. That's when we're going to have to do the Aquaman pilot. We're going to have to track that down and do that.
Oh, shit. I think that's between that season and the next one, right? Or when is...
I'm sure, yeah. It's because that Aquaman episode was a big hit. So I'm sure they got working on it like right away. Zach, we did it. I guess have a good Christmas, man. Have a good holiday out there. Everybody stay safe. Everybody enjoy. Hopefully you have some time off or at least some time to yourself. Hope everyone has a good one. I think we'll be back next week. I don't think we'll be taking off. I think we'll be here. We'll be here. Let's do it.
I'll be here. Yeah.
All right. Zach, do you have a go to talentmix.show and find all the links to all of our stuff. Also, hey, if you're on Apple, maybe rate and leave us a review. That'd be nice. I know you're listening. I literally know you're listening to this. Go do it. Go do it. For Christmas. For Christmas.
That's all I want.
For Christmas.
Listen to me. Brian's been very good this year. Brian has been a good boy this year.
So good. And so is Zach.
Yes, better than most years. Better than most years.
Leave a review for Christmas.
We really want this.
Leave a review
Please.
for Christmas. Zach, do you have a question?
What do you want from us? Do you want us to talk less about Star Wars?
Do you want us
less about Doctor Strange 2?
What do you want?
Mission Impossible? Because we can't do that.
No, sorry. New one's coming out. I'm watching all the featurettes already. Mission Impossible.
Shit, Brian. We're almost out of the episode, and we just realized we didn't talk about that clip you sent me.
Okay,
We'll save that for next week.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, fuck. It's so good. It's so good. I'm so excited, dude.
Oh, pump that. Dude, they did a poll of, I think was like Fandango or something. People voted on the movies they're most anticipated for next year. That wasn't even in like the top 5. Mission Impossible wasn't.
That's so crazy because Top Gun made so much money. I assume that's going to rising tides. Mission Impossible.
I think the people who participated in the poll probably tend to be people who would go see a Marvel movie or like younger.
Sure.
I think Mission Impossible will bring in the somewhat older Top Gun Maverick crowd.
Right. I'm so excited. Zach, do you have a question for the Smallville gods?
Yes. Will, after Brandon and I both have a great Christmas, will a mysterious fog roll in and make us switch bodies?
Wait, what is this? What's this fog coming in? Do you sense it? What's happening? Oh no!
Wait, I said after Christmas. I said after Christmas!